In this video, you're going to learn 3 recommendations from Pope Pius X himself on how to improve your fundraising. Hi, I'm Brice Sokolowski, the founder of CatholicFundraiser.net, a website that is completely dedicated to helping Catholics just like you with your fundraising. So if you're a lay apostolate, a religious order, a school, a diocese, a parish, a hermit, whatever you are trying to do and you're looking to fundraise, well, this is for you. I'm helping thousands of Catholics every month, and I'm delighted to be doing that, and they're helping me improve my fundraising so that way everything that I'm recommending you has been tried and tested with Catholics. So before we dive into Pope Pius X, I want to make sure that you download for free the 10 Commandments to Catholic fundraising. Yes, these are 10 things that I highly recommend that you do if you are trying to fundraise. So the link is going to be right below, whether you're watching this on YouTube, watching this on my website, or if you're listening to the podcast, the link is going to be below. Jump over, download the 10 Commandments absolutely for free. Okay, Pope Pius X. He was the Pope in around 1900 into the 20th century. He had a great devotion to Our Lady of Confidence, which I really like that name because we're doing things with confidence. And if you're thinking about going from the 19th to the 20th century, it was, times definitely were changing then. And from my understanding, he was a very structured guy. He helped create the Code of Canon Law, I believe, of 1912. One of the encyclicals that I'm going to be referencing, he's a guy who has this type of order and approach to moving forward. And I think it really helps with fundraising because, well, without some type of order and some type of focus and direction, we can easily get swayed because, yes, fundraising is really, really difficult. So here are 3 recommendations from Pope Pius X from his encyclical. In Italian, it was called FERMO PROPOSITO. And this was an encyclical dedicated specifically to Italians involved in Catholic action of the laity, in fact. And so he was giving recommendations and suggestions to the laity in Italy on how to take action with their Catholic faith. And it's really important, I think, in today's world, because he's laying the foundation for helping us, the laity, move forward with our missions, our vocations, and what we're trying to do. And here, when I read it, I found 3 key ideas that I think will be helping you with your fundraising. I'm going to be looking at my show notes. Make sure that if you want to look at the encyclical or get more information on Pope Pius X, just jump over, click the link, and you'll have all the information on my website. So the first thing that Pope Pius X recommends that you need to be doing is, and this is his quote, "A spiritual ministry must enlarge its sphere and multiply its results again and again." And I think this is really important because a lot of the times we're just doing things just for the sake of doing things, and we don't know what's working and what's not working. Now, it's not to say that we just do things in order to get results. However, he is saying that, you have to be doing something. And if you're doing something great, really try and grow it. So it's very important to recognize what's working and what's not working, recognize the results, recognize the fruits, and keep moving forward. Now, this is important in fundraising because as a fundraiser, if I'm going off and asking people for donations, I want to be telling them why we're asking for donations, what we're going to be doing with them, and some examples of how, you've done something already to improve people's lives, spread the gospel, whatever you're doing. We have to share some type of results with people because it inspires people and they recognize, I like what you're doing. I see the results of what you're doing, and I think you can do a whole lot more. So it gets people really, really excited. So that's recommendation number 1 from Pope Pius X. The second thing is he says to stay focused on important duties of your sacred ministry vocation and don't be swayed by the material interests. So this is important with fundraising because, well, yes, money is material, but sometimes we can get way too focused on the money. And I know I'm saying this as a fundraiser, but I see too often Catholic organizations who don't want to move forward, or all they're focused on, or they put on the side and they say, look, you guys focus on fundraising, but it's all not good. Number one, just move forward. You more than likely don't need fundraising because you probably can do things a little bit better, a little bit more efficiently, and that's going to help with your fundraising. And number two, don't put fundraising on the side and try and think, oh, well, it's material stuff, it's not really important. I mean, you're kind of giving it its own space to wreak its own havoc, and I've seen this also. So you have to find some type of balanced approach with your fundraising, but also stay focused on your mission, on your vocation. And more often than not, you don't really need to be fundraising. So make sure that you recognize, should you be fundraising, and if so, how to make sure that it's aligned correctly and it doesn't overwhelm certain aspects of your mission. The third thing that Pope Pius X recommends with your action on how to kind of grow it, make it better, improve it, and it touches on fundraising, is you want to build on solid Catholic principles and take into consideration the characteristics of different people. So the way I read this is that it's going to take a whole lot of different types of people to help move your mission forward sometimes. And one of these ways of moving forward in these different types of talents, the way I describe it, he mentions, what does he mention? Characteristics of different people, is definitely get yourself some type of fundraiser. But you got to be careful on what type of fundraiser. He mentions you got to have a solid Catholic foundation. So you want to Catholic foundation, Catholic principles. So you want to find yourself someone who's fundraising and is Catholic. There's a huge difference between Catholic and not Catholic, especially with fundraising. And you want to find yourself a fundraiser. And that's why this website exists, so it helps you. I know there aren't a lot of fundraisers who are strong in their Catholic faith. That's what this is about. But make sure that you recognize that you're going to need different types of people, different types of talents, different type of characteristics to help you move forward with your mission. Okay, so those are the 3 recommendations that I learned from Pope Pius X. I hope you found them helpful. Leave a comment, share this with somebody that you know will benefit from it, because we all know 1 or 2 Catholic organizations out there, a priest, a religious order, a nun, a monk, somebody that needs a little bit of help, and I think this can help them. So God love you, thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye.